Fox Business Alert: China has a lock still on one of the most strategic metals in the world, tungsten. And now the U.S. is making a move to stockpile the critical metal used in everything from aircraft to technology, defense, autos, and so much more. 2 weeks ago, President Trump launched Project Vault. This is a $12 billion public-private partnership to stockpile critical metals and rare metals, minerals and rare metals like tungsten. However, to stock that vault, the U.S. must still, it's hard to say compete, got to catch up with China, which produces 40% of, oh, sorry, that's the wrong graphic, 80% of the world's supply. But as you see on the screen, Almonty Industries has a South Korean mine that's ramping up big time. Chairman and CEO of Almonty, Louis Black, is here. The U.S. has chosen his tungsten mining firm to be the dominant supplier for its 50-nation trading bloc. Tell us about this new milestone from the South Korean mine.
Well, it's been a long and torturous journey to get it all permitted. It's now almost finished in construction. It's opening as we speak. We're looking to generate data in March. It'll account for roughly 40% with the rest of our assets, about 40% of non-Chinese supply. Most importantly, this mine was formerly the world's largest tungsten mine. So by complete luck, we happen to be opening it in the middle of all this geopolitical mess. I'd like to say by design, but in all honesty, it's complete luck.
Take the win.
This happens. That's how I'm trying to look at it. My shareholders are very happy, but we've always been the dominant producer in the West. We've always had the benefits of our sector, hard floors, no cap on the upside, years before it became fashionable, all these things.
Where does the South Korean mine output stand right now?
It's coming online right now. So, as I said, in March, we'll start generating data. It's not, you don't just flick a switch. We've gone through dry commissioning. We're now going through wet commissioning. But essentially, so far, nothing's dropped off, which is always a positive sign after a 2.5-year build. It's coming online. Let
me show our viewers what tungsten looks like once it does come out of the mine. I have it right here. Okay, this is heavy. Tell me about this. This is about half a kilo?
About half a kilo.
Half a kilo, okay. So it's like a, you know, a very sparkly, but very, very heavy. And tell me, the price of this, because you were here several months ago, what would this have cost then, and what has the price done now?
Well, when I came to see you at Thanksgiving, I think the price was around about $80,000 a ton, and it's now $180,000 a ton. So it's increased significantly. This is what we call black gold, because it's actually, this is wolframite. So this is the most valuable form of tungsten on the planet.
And where would that go? Once you have it, who wants it? Who needs it the most?
Well, every U.S. consumer would bite your hand off for that right now. And this is used in very specialist areas like semiconductors, in defense, where you need a very homogeneous product. This is the most homogeneous product on the planet.
Is it fair to say that aircraft and rocket ships do not go up without tungsten?
Absolutely. They don't work. And it's one of the reasons we're seeing in China a huge demand for tungsten. And the theory is that they're building a lot more military aircraft.
Well, they're clearly smart. They know that we need it. So they would probably winnow down, make a choke point and not allow us to get as much as we possibly can. Now, let's talk about your mine, which we discussed back the last time you were here in Montana. Tell us about the project, what needs to happen, because regulations, always an issue to get this one up and running.
Well, regulations, I mean, there's a process in Montana, and so we're entering some of that, but also we have to contend with the NGOs. We find in the U.S. across the board, not specific to us, but across the board, there is a very strong NGO groups that overwhelm the court system with litigation. That's just the system we have to operate within. So Montana is going to organically grow. I think it's the best way. We're feeling our way into production. I think I think the governor is coming to ribbon cut later this year, but we're doing it discreetly. In Korea, they told me when I first started building, they said, look, we support you, we really want you to do it, but remember, you must build like a submarine. And I think that's very much the case of building a mine.
Well, the fact that U.S. is very, very dependent on the import of tungsten has been identified as a national security issue. And Vice President J.D. Vance has really talked a lot about this, made it an important issue for himself. And he wants to see coordination so that there's a block that can bring it all together. Clearly, you are very well positioned, and your stock has done incredibly well over just the past several months. But if you had to sit there and say, if it were back to, oh, I'm going to launch an IPO, which you're not, you're public already, but what are the risks?
What, doing an IPO on the NASDAQ as a tungsten company? Having the knowledge to actually mine the tungsten. This is something you forget. To achieve this is very difficult. It's very dense, but very brittle. And you need that human capital, and that's long extinct from the 90s. Only 2 mines survived China. One was ours and one is in Austria, and that's it. So that human knowledge, that knowledge of how to do this is very much gone. And that's the biggest risk.
Well, Louis, you and Almonty apparently have the big jump on this. We'll continue to follow the stock and follow your success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.